So this is where he kind of lays out what I was talking about and his view of war being primarily about man. Back to the book. Battle is the final objective of armies, and man is the fundamental instrument in battle. Nothing can wisely be prescribed in any army. Its personnel, organization, discipline, and tactics, things which are connected like the fingers of a hand without exact knowledge of the fundamental instrument, man, and his state of mind, his morale at the instant of combat. It often happens that those who discuss war, taking the weapon for the starting point, assume unhesitatingly that the man called to serve it will always use it as contemplated and ordered by the regulations. But such a being, throwing off his variable nature to become an impassive pawn, an abstract unit in the combinations of battle, is a creature born of the musings of the library. So legit. So he's saying like, oh, you think these guys are going to go out and just do what you tell them to do? That's a fantasy that you can only find in the library. Mm-hmm. You won't find it, back to the book, and not a real man. Man is flesh and blood. He is body and soul. And strong as the soul often is, it cannot dominate the body to the point where there will not be a revolt of the flesh and mental perturbation in the face of destruction. The human heart, to quote Marshall de Saxe, is then the starting point in all matters pertaining to war. Boom. Think about that. And it's the same thing with leadership overall. People. That's what you're doing. You create cool technology, you make a great product, you want to build a business, you got to understand people. You got to understand human nature. Back to the book. The best masters are those who know man best. The man of today and the man of history. We've got to understand history. This knowledge naturally comes from a study of formations and achievements in ancient war. Boom. Look at what's going on in the past. That's one of the reasons that I read books in the first place. Because I want to understand what happened in the past. Understand how those human beings reacted to these situations. I want to know that. Back to the book. We shall learn to distrust mathematics and material dynamics as applied to battle principles. We shall learn to be aware of the illustrations drawn from the range and the maneuver field. So the range is where you go shoot a gun and no one's shooting back at you, right? Oh, we're going to shoot the gun and no one's going to shoot it back at us. Oh, if this guy can shoot 10 rounds a minute and hit his target on the range, that means I can take him out on the battlefield and he'll be able to shoot 10 rounds a minute and hit his target. Wrong answer. You don't know that. That's actually wrong. He's going to shoot 100 rounds a minute. He's going to miss his target on all of them because he's going to be freaking out. Mm-hmm. Back to the book. And the maneuver field is where you go out and you march around. And this is a training field too, right? You go out, you march around a training field, or you go around. Even when you try, I see some military units, they simulate combat and it's so cheesy. It's got to be hard. You got to have chaos in there. Back to the book. There, experiences with the calm, settled, unfatigued, attentive, obedient soldier with an intelligent and tractable man. Instrument, in short. So that's what you have in the training situation. All those things. Calm, settled, unfatigued, attentive, all those things. This is what you really get. Back to the book. And not with the nervous, easily swayed, moved, troubled, distrait, excited, restless being, not even under self-control, who is the fighting man from general to private. There are strong men, exceptions, but they are rare. And he mentions that throughout here. Of course, you're going to get guys that are super calm and super courageous. He mentions that throughout this. But from general to private, get a guy that's not going to be the same on the battlefield as he is in training. Mm-hmm. Let us then study man in battle, for it is he who really fights. Man does not enter battle to fight, but for victory. He does everything that he can to avoid the first and obtain the second. Boom. Now we start getting a little psychology here. A man surprised needs an instant to collect his thoughts and defend himself. During this instant, he is killed if he does not run away. Fight or flight. The surprised adversary does not defend himself. He tries to flee. So there you go. That's why, one of the tenets of SEAL combat is surprise. Mm-hmm. Surprise and violence of action. We are going to surprise you because everybody, when you get surprised, it's you're defending yourself. And in many cases, running away. That's your best action. Mm-hmm. Back to the book. Man taxes his ingenuity to be able to kill without running the risk of being killed. This is so fundamental. Think about that. Man taxes his ingenuity to be able to kill without running the risk of being killed. That's what all modern weapons are for, right? Can I shoot this guy from 500 yards away? That's what I want. We make guns now that shoot around corners. We drop bombs from the sky. We want to kill without the risk of being killed. Back to the book. His bravery is born of his strength and is not absolute. Before a stronger, he flees without shame. So, and he points out, this is what's cool about Picq is he's done this massive amount of historical studies and he cites all these situations. And he's like, when you're in a bad situation and you're facing a stronger enemy, you can just count on the guys are going to run away. Like, guys are not going to stand up. How many times have you seen that in a street fight?
Oh yeah.
Right? As soon as the big friend steps in and says, "Wait a second, you got a beef here with my buddy?" Mm-hmm. "Oh no, got no problem here. Echo Charles, I'm good. I didn't realize there was a big yoked Hawaiian over here getting ready to kick my butt." So he's saying that bravery is born of strength, and everyone's strong. Everyone's brave when you got 12 people with you and you're going to fight one guy. Everyone's brave. When you reverse those roles, it doesn't always turn out that way. Back to the book. Collective man. A disciplined body of troops formed in tactical battle order is invincible against an undisciplined body of troops. Boom. But against a similarly disciplined body, he becomes again primitive man. He flees before a greater force of destruction when he recognizes it or when he foresees it. Nothing is changed in the heart of man. Discipline keeps enemies face to face a little longer, but it cannot supplant the instinct of self-preservation and the sense of fear that goes with it.